In the wake of the shootings, the debate in Washington turned immediately to how and whether new limits on gun ownership can and should be enacted. Democratic Senator Dianne Feinstein of California has pledged to revive a law banning assault weapons. She's chairwoman of the Senate Intelligence Committee, and she joins us now. Welcome, Senator.
Thank you very much.
With half of the members of the Senate getting an A rating from the National Rifle Association, do you have any sense that things will be different now for the assault weapons ban than it has been in the past?
Well, I have every sense that it's an uphill road. It was in the past when we did it in the past. I wrote that bill. My office wrote that bill. It went through. It was not amended. It went through the Senate, the House. It was signed by the President, and it was the law for 10 years. I think what's unique about this is it's really just one class of gun, the assault weapon. The assault weapon is developed for military purposes to kill in close combat. And it doesn't belong in the streets of our cities. And it doesn't belong where it can be picked up easily by a grievance killer who can walk into a workplace, a mall, a theater, and now an elementary school and kill large numbers.
Explain to our viewers how what you are planning to introduce would have changed what happened in Newtown, Connecticut.
Well, over time, that weapon would be much less available. What we're trying to do is ban the sale, the manufacture, the transfer, the importation of assault weapons. And it gets quite technical, and I won't go into that right now. Grandfather weapons that people already have, subject those weapons either to licensing or to a trigger lock, and spell out those grandfathered weapons, which would be over 900 in the bill. So nobody can say, oh, we took their hunting weapon away. Then I'd be able to say, here's your hunting weapon. It's specifically exempted in the bill.
So we're talking about prospective law, not one dating to the law to the guns people already own.
It would ban approximately 100 weapons by actual name, and then weapons by physical characteristics.
Let's talk about the politics of all of this. Today we saw three pro-gun rights Democratic senators, Senator Reid, Senator Manchin, Senator Warner, all say that what happened in Newtown, Connecticut has changed everything. Do you have a sense that there's a shift underway?
Oh, yes. I think this is the straw that broke the camel's back, to be very honest with you, Gwen. I don't see how Americans can want, a situation where a 20-year-old gets a gun from his mother, kills his mother, goes into a school, shoots his way through the glass, goes in and puts 3 to 11 bullets in 6-year-olds, 20 of them. Now, if you just do an average of 5 bullets, that's 100 bullets. So it's the big clip, drum, or strip that is also banned from sale, manufacture, importation, transfer. So it's the clip that enables you to have the firepower. And I gather this particular Bushmaster, you can actually sort of dial down the ease with which you pull the trigger and its frequency. So you can just pump those bullets out in a very few seconds.
Have you gotten any sense of a change of heart among Republican members of the Senate?
I haven't had a chance to talk to Republicans. I certainly will be doing that. I've really kind of been busy just fielding calls, which is unusual. Some 20 calls to my house yesterday at home, and calls today from members of the House and others that want to help with this.
You called the White House today to talk to the president. Yeah. Has that conversation happened, and do you believe he'll support you on this?
I haven't gotten a call back, but I will be persistent. I'm trying now to call his chief of staff to say, please, may I speak with the president briefly?
Gun control activists have said that they believe that the president's first term was a failure, and people who are gun rights activists have said that the president wants to legislate the Second Amendment out of existence. Which is true, or is neither true?
Oh, neither is true. I think the president now has an open mind. At least I hope he has. I think the fact that I've authored something before which became the law hopefully will have some credibility with him. And we're very happy to sit down with his staff, which is what I want to offer, to go over the specifics of the legislation, options, and get his views. I'd like to do that sooner rather than later. because we're working with others. I want to work with members in this body, members in the other body, and try to see that by the beginning of the year, we've got something where there is some very good support.
What do you say to people who support the right to own arms, that this is the camel's nose under the tent, and the next thing you'll be after concealed carry weapons, you'll be after other kinds of gun rights?
Well, that's just not true. It wasn't true with the prior bill that was the law for 10 years. And I just think, candidly, that dog doesn't hunt.
Why shouldn't it be true? Why wouldn't you want to go after those other laws?
Because that's not what I've done in the past, and it's not what I'm doing right now.
How much, as we have this debate now, how much are we focusing on guns, and how much are we focusing, or should we be focusing, on the things that drive people to use guns in these horrific ways?
Well, I think you concentrate on both. You concentrate on mental illness and what we can do. You concentrate on safety in schools and those kinds of things. But small children have a basic right to go to a school and feel safe. And these guns, because they kill large numbers of people very quickly, they aren't used for hunting, they aren't hunting weapons, you don't need them for defense. They are military-style weapons, and they don't belong in the streets of our cities or our towns.
And finally, Senator Feinstein, we have been here before. The president has, as he said last night, has spoken at 4 different memorial services for shooting victims since he's been president. And each time there's been discussion that this is the moment, especially after a congresswoman was shot, this is the moment when everything will change. Why is this the moment?
Well, this is the moment because I think people have had it. They have had it in fear. You know, look at Aurora. That man came in with a 100-round drum. If that drum hadn't jammed, he would have killed many more people. Look at Virginia Tech. Look at Jonestown. Look at Jonesboro, rather. Look at Columbine. Look at what's been happening. It's got to stop. Our schools have to be safe places. These guns are the guns that the grievance killers, that gangs, that people who want to do real damage look for and find very easy to obtain in our society. And we need to change that, and that's what I'm trying to do.
Senator Dianne Feinstein, Democrat of California, thank you so much.
Thank you, Gwen.
An administration official told the NewsHour today that the president began talking with White House staff, the vice president, and some members of the cabinet about ways the country can respond to the tragedy in Newtown.